What's up guys, today we'll be going over the final exotic I need to go over in Joker's Wild on the Hunter. The gauntlet's called Liar's Handshake with the exotic perk right here, Cross Counter. Using your arc melee ability or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counterpunch that will heal you. So in this video we'll be going over how good they are in PvE, exactly what this perk does, and also be touching it in PvP and seeing how good it is there. So let's go ahead and begin. First, without the gauntlets on, to test the base damage of a melee on this ogre in the Lost Sector. Go ahead and swing at him. I hit 1197. Now go ahead and put the gauntlets back on and proc the perk by letting the ogre hit me first, proccing the counterpunch, which hits 3591, which is 3x damage or 200% buff, which is actually pretty high. So the other thing I noticed right there is when you get melee, it says cross counter with 2 seconds, and 0 counts as full second in this game, so it lasts for 3 seconds. And the other part of the perk is that when you get the counter punch in, it heals you, and as you see right there, it doesn't heal you fully, but it's like roughly like 50% of your health. So as long as you keep meleeing over and over again, you'll eventually get the full health. And it seems like the perk doesn't really have that much of a cooldown, if anything like 1 second. So whenever you get meleeed, you pretty much have the perk at all times. Then once you melee, you obviously lose the perk, and so on. I also tested with a few of the melee based supers to see if it worked with those supers, and as you see right here with Arc Staff, it does not work. And as you see, the second my super runs out, it procs a perk, so it just doesn't work in that super. I also tried Spectral Blade because that is kind of like a melee too, and once again it did not work in that super. So it's only when you're out of super and you're using your melee. Just want to make sure to see if that worked, because if that did work, that's 3x damage on top of a super, and that would have been kind of game changing. So in PvP, it does exactly what you think. Once you get the counter punch, it one hits and hits 300 damage, as you see right here, but also it appears it does not actually heal you in PvP. It's only the 3x damage, but not the health on kill. So I only played a few games of PvP because it's on my account and I didn't want to be on forever. But one thing I noticed is that more often than not, people don't just melee you just to melee. And what I mean by that is, for example, Titans, whenever they melee you, it's usually with shoulder charge, which one hits you. Or when a Warlock or Hunter usually melees you, it's because they shotgun you or snipe you or something like that, and you're half health, so they're using their melee to finish you. So it's not very often that you just get meleeed from full health just to be meleeed. So I found myself not proccing this perk that often, because whenever someone did melee me, for the most part, I was usually dead. There were several times within these two games where I was purposely trying to let the other player melee me, but they would either just shotgun me or, you know, use their SMG or whatever, and they wouldn't melee me. More often than not, people use their melee ability as like a last resort to finish someone off, like I previously mentioned. So in my experience, this exotic did not help me that much at all, if any. But I don't really play Hunter that much in PvP, if at all, and also I didn't play that many games, so your guys' experience may vary. In PvE, this exotic is pretty silly. You can literally go up to a boss and just melee constantly and pretty much never die, as you see in the very last clip of this video on the EP boss. I legit am getting hit by like 5 thralls, several acolyte, maybe even like a knight and like the ogre. I live for like 40 plus seconds or however long the clip is, just meleeing over and over again. And I finally do like 33% of the ogre's health over that time, and that's literally just meleeing with no well, no nothing. So in the right situation, this exotic is extremely strong, but my only question is how practical it is. It's almost like the Titan exotic where it's good, but how useful it is in just general gameplay, I'm not quite sure. It's definitely better than Titan exotic, I would say that for sure, because you don't have to give up your power weapon into like the sword slot. This just requires your melee, but overall it's kind of like the same idea behind it. So for all of you Hunter mains out there that already have this, let me know what you think about this exotic in just general PvE gameplay or PvP, because outside of like doing silly things like I am right now meleeing these bosses, I just wonder how useful it would be in just general regular gameplay. The best part about this would be the healing part, but I just don't see letting a PvE enemy purposely melee you just to then heal. That just doesn't seem very smart to me, because if you really need health back, you're not letting purposely let someone melee you. But that's just my hot take with like only 1 hour of gameplay with this exotic. Anyways, like I said, if you have this already, let me know. I'm actually very curious what you guys think about this exotic, if you already have it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.